Alright guys, we finna see how my second ever string turns out here. We're shooting at 20 yards. Like I said, it's gonna stretch in, so I had to put a few more twists in it after shooting it a while. Well, good morning guys. Today we're gonna be making us a bowstring for the TBOW here. I don't know if y'all seen the latest video a few days back where I built my own Flemish twist bowstring making jig right here. If you didn't, I'll attach it at the end of this video and you can go back and watch it. And if you watched that video here in just a little bit, if you watched that and you want to build you one, I can actually tell you now which hole. Well, I can tell you which hole makes a 58-inch string and a 60-inch string. So we'll get to that when I get y'all up close. But right now, I'm actually measuring this string because it's off the TBOW here. And I'm measuring it because I had read and I had heard on the TBOWs and the Hoyts toys, where most bows, a 62-inch bow, you would get something like a 58-inch string. But they come in and they shoot better or whatever. They just take a longer string. So I'm measuring the exact length of the string that was on there, so I can go on and make me one, and then I have a backup string. Cause see, that's a 62-inch bow, and that's measuring a 60-inch string. Normally a 60-inch bow would take a different string. Now, I've done some string swapping, and the reason I'm making another string, even though this is a Flemish twist, this was off of the Sanlita bow, but I had to put a whole lot of twist in it to get it short enough. Now, I made one for my Sanlita bow, and there's how it turned out. That's my first real bowstring I made two or three practice runs with some old string that I'd had for 20-something years, and it done lost its stickiness. Plus, I didn't have no string making wax. I just had regular bowstring wax, and regular bowstring wax, guys, ain't got near about the stickiness as a bowstring making wax does. And it makes a lot of difference when you're making them. Y'all see here in a little bit. But I made this one for this bow, but I used the B55 string. And I got this string here in the wax, and then I got some new serving, that expensive stuff, that Halo. I think I got that from Lancaster Archery, where I ordered that from. But this bow with that B55, this was supposed to be a D97 string that came on it. Flemish twist. But when I shot it through the chronograph, my chronograph, to where I'd already chronographed it with this string, and going back to the B55, well, it didn't make 2 feet of difference slower, but yet, to me, it made the bow quieter. Plus, I made my strand 14 strand string. Let me see what this one that came on here was. We'll count it out real quick to see how many string they had on here. If I counted that right, they had a 12-strand string on there, and I'm doing a 14, which also quietens your bow down a little bit. But like I said, I had to twist this one up too much, so what I'm going to do, I'll untwist it, and this will actually be my backup string from a Sanlita. The bowstring that come on the TBOW will be my backup string, and then I'm going to build a new string, 14 strand, but I'm using the D97 Dynaflight string for the TBOW. Using black and kind of a gold silver color. That's another thing I learned right off the bat with making a bowstring. It makes it so much easier dealing with it when you got two different colors. So trying to keep that strand separated while you doing the twist and they all one color, yeah, it makes it a lot harder. And having new strand that's real sticky with the wax already and then the good wax, it made it way a lot easier. So I'm going to get y'all up here close and we'll look at the board. In case you wanted to build one of these from the last video, you can go back and watch it. I mean, I built this for free just out of stuff I had right here in the shed. And also I can count off and tell you what hole will be your 58-inch string and your 60-inch string. Let me go ahead and move my pen so I won't mess up building another 58-inch string. Now I'm hoping the camera's showing this good enough, but if you build this board, of course you got all your nails on this end, or pins, however you want to build it. But if you come from this end, that first hole right there you really don't need. I shouldn't have drilled that hole, but it don't matter, it ain't hurting nothing. But counting that first hole, even with these two nails, I'm going to go on and count it. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The number 14 hole will be for a 58-inch string, and number 15 holes for a 60. So of course, the next hole ought to be for a 62-inch string. Now anything you need a half-inch strings, you can pretty much do that with a twist by twisting your string. So we're going to start out, I'm going to dump this wax out of this little container. Like I said, this wax here makes it way easier, because it ain't just wax, it's got some kind of resin in it that makes the strands stick together better. And trust me guys, if you're going to build strings, go on and get you some of that. I backed the camera up a little bit in case that didn't show down here. You would start out right even with them two nails. You have to watch the other video on how to build this. But that's hole number 14 for your 58-inch string, hole number 15 for your 60-inch string. Now you got to find the beginning of the string on these new spools here. And we're going to build a 14 strand string. So we're going to need 7 strands of this black. So I just wrap around that first nail right there to hold it to get started. And then we're going to run down here and we're going to go around that nail, come back up, go around that pin, go back down around that nail. And when you come back, you go step back to your second nail. Do the same thing. We're going to do that till we get 7 strands of black. Six. Now we're starting on the 7th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So as you see, when you get here, don't count that, think you got 7 made. 7 starts here. So we got to go around it. How I know? Because I've done that in my practice runs. Right here, when you're coming back with your 7th one, come right back across it and just hold it like that. Take you a pair of scissors or a knife and cut right down that center line. So scissors need to be a little sharper for this D97. Now I'm going to go and move this string out my way. But at this point is where you want to take your wax. Most people use a razor blade knife and slice that. Y'all can see my scissors ain't that sharp, and this D97 fast blade string here is kind of stiff. But you want to wax these ends real good. The string's already waxed and sticky good if you got some new string like this. We're going to wax that up so it'll hold it together. Take this end, wax this up. And the reason for stepping down on these nails, guys, is because it helps it step down when you're doing the Flemish twist on the string we're going to be doing here in a little bit. So that's 7 strands of the black. I'm going to just hang up here. And I ain't going to bore y'all with doing the silver or the gray here because it's the exact same step. Makes 7 strands just like that. We're going to see if these little scissors are sharper than them big ones. Yeah, I think they're a little sharper than them big scissors. Well, I missed the last strand though. So I'll see now why people uses a razor blade knife on this tough string. I'm going to wax these ends up. Now we got our other 7 strands, which is going to be 2 Flemish twists together. So now I'm going to get y'all up close and we're going to start twisting these together. Now, I ain't sure how this part's going to be since I ain't got somebody to hold the camera. But I'm going to start out right here. I'm going to get the ends of these to the very longest ones right there together. And I'm going to measure down here. I got measuring marks on my board here. And I'm going to measure down here about 8.5, I think, what worked out for me good the other day. And I'm going to pinch that string right there, and then I'm going to turn it. Holding it in my body. I don't know how y'all's camera's seeing it, but I'm holding it. I'm turning this away from me, which would be clockwise. Twist it up. And I'm going to twist this up away from my body clockwise. I'm not no pro at this. There's other people that's been doing it for years, got videos. But I'm just showing me doing it. Now that you got it twisted up, you want to bring it to you. Give the other one a little twist again clockwise, bring it back to you. But after you got it twisted up, you just keep doing that. Twist away from you, flip it over to you. Twist away from you, flip the top one back over. So you're twisting each strand clockwise away from your body. And then you see it right here, it's under there. Then you want to fold it back over the top, which is bringing it back to you. And like I said, the string wax makes a world of difference. Now we're going to do this for about 1 3/4 inches, according to how big you like your loops on the end of your bows. ain't far enough yet. So after I do that but that's 2 inches, that's work. We're going to bring that loop back over to make your loop for the, this be for the top or bottom of your bow. And you want to separate your strands back out to where they twisted up, going to the floor, your long strands. And we're going to flip that over. Now right here, it don't matter if you go silver to silver or black to black, but I'm going to put silver to silver. And I'm going to twist the silver strand clockwise away from me. And I'm going to pull them down through there a few twists and make one strand out of them silver ones. I'm going to do the same thing on this black one. I go on and put me some twist in here. And then we're going to twist that one together. Just like so. That's twisting clockwise. And then we're going to start the same process. Bring that back over to me. Twist the black away from me clockwise. Bring it back. I try to get my little finger in this loop so it can't come undone. Twist. Back over. Twist away. Back over. Twist away. Back over. Sometimes you gotta stop and get your string unwound. Twist away. Back over. Twist away. Back over. And you do that all the way down past where your string starts stepping down. See, that's what I was saying. That's the deal of these nails over here. It makes it when you twisting it together, stepping it down in steps, getting smaller. And you can watch different people do this, and they're going to have different opinions, different number of strands they like to do, different number of how far they like the big to make the loop. Some like big loops, some like little loops. Again, twist away, come back to you over the top. Twist it away, come back to you over the top. We almost to the end. Let me get them straightened back out down through there again. And another good thing, I ain't doing good right here, is I'm standing on a dusty floor, so the other end of my string getting dust all in this sticky string. Like right there, I'm at the end. I'm gonna go on down about another ½ inch myself. Some people do it different. Alright, at this point, I'm going to put this on this nail. I'm going to have to move y'all over here. I'm going to put that right there on that nail and just give it a little pull. Hold that tight. Some uses clamps. I'm just using a bread tie here. I'm going to tie that good and tight because I don't want that to come undone while we're working on the other end. But now that we got them tied, I'm going to pull this out. And since we was twisting these, I'm going to untwist them, which would be counterclockwise. I'm untwisting them, guys, to get all the twist out that was in these strings. Alright, now that I've done got them back straight, I'm going to put about, on both of them, I'm going to put about, I don't know, 15 to 20 turns counterclockwise. So I'm going to count. Actually, I'm going to do one at a time. Then I'm going to do the other one. I'm just rolling it in my finger, but it's from me standing this way, it's counterclockwise. That's putting back twist in it, so when we start twisting the other loop, it'll take that back out of it. Now at this point, I do this different from some people. Where my tape go? I'm wanting to make a 60-inch string, so I'm going to measure this, and I'm going to go to 60 and about right at a half. 60 and a quarter to 60 and a half. But some people just use their measurement here and go there back to their, mine's going to come up pretty close to that. To where I measured off a while ago about 8 and a half. This in here is going to actually be, get out of the way string. This in here actually going to be just a little over 9. That's fine. That's fine and dandy. That's fine and dandy. And when you do that, your strings are supposed to all come out just right. If they didn't, one done got pulled off somewhere. So now we're going to do the same things I've done. I'm going to stand here and do it this way now. We're going to take these 2 ends and I'm going to turn them clockwise away from my body. Get them twisted up real good. Both of them, the black and the silver. This is why it's good to use 2 different colors instead of trying to work with one color. For me, for a beginner anyway. Now I'm going to bring that one back to me over the top. Give this black one another little twist, bring it back. Give the silver one a little clockwise twist, bring it back. Twist it away from you, bring it back over the top to me. Twist it away from me, bring it back over the top to me. Twist it away from me, back over the top to me. Now again, I'm going to do this till I get about 1 3/4 to 2 inches. I'll do this loop a little bigger. I'll do this in 2 inches on this end. And it can be for the top of the bow. I'm about letting one of my twists come out down here. That's where you got to hold on to it. When you're doing that. We're doing the same thing, twisting away, back over the top. Twisting away, back over the top. Yeah, that there's about 2.5 inches long, so that's going to be my top loop. It'll be bigger. We're going to bring that right back over like so. At this point, I double check. In case I let my finger slip or something else. Just like that right there. Get it right back on 60, and then you got to unwind these strings right here so you can get them 2 silver ones back together. Spin them clockwise or away from you. Get the 2 black ones, spin them clockwise or away from you. Then you just go doing the same thing. Twist, back over the top. Twist, back over the top. Till I get about a 1/2 inch past the end again. Go a couple more wraps there, it looked like. I'm going to take one of these bread ties and tie that. turn it around, put it on my nail. Kind of suck it down there. Right. And we just gonna put a little twist in our string here. I'm actually gonna twist this up till it gets about 50 and 59 and somewhere between 59 and a half, 59 and 3/4, because your string's gonna stretch when you put it on the bow. It's gonna make a pretty string, black and silver. That's getting mighty close. There you go. Hope y'all see that. Now I'm going to put it on this bow so we can stretch it. I'll leave my bread ties on there at this point. We'll take the smallest loop, since it ain't served yet, put on this end. Now guys, this is a part that they tell you don't do, because you can warp the limbs on your bow. You're supposed to use a bow stringer, but if you're going to try doing this like this, you got to learn to push straight. Don't twist or nothing else if you're going to string a bow like this. Now that we got it on the bow, you see us stretching it up that out, and I'm going to just stretch on it a little while. Check it out, make sure everything's holding good. When I undo it from each end. I put a few more twists in it after it stretches here a minute. Then I'll take the bread clips off. But I'm going to let it sit here, stretch a minute while I go get me another swig of water. And then we'll be back. Alright guys, it's done been on there stretching a little while. I've been pulling on it while y'all wasn't here. I'm going to leave it right there. That's 7 3/4. Let's see. No, I better tighten it up because I don't run the grip on this TBOW. I like shooting it off the thin riser. So I was shooting up there around 8 1/4. Again, this ain't a good procedure to follow, unstringing your bow like I'm doing. But I'm going to put a few more twists in there to get my brace height back up to where I want it before I serve this string. I think most of that stuff with people preaching on using a bow stringer, yeah, I agree. You can warp your limbs. I put too many twists in there, guys. I gotta take some of them back out. I think you can warp your limbs, but I don't think it's easy as to do as some make out. I think it's more of a bow makers don't want people doing that and warp their limbs while their bow's under warranty. That's what I think. That's pretty close right there. I'm 8 3/8 where I'm normally 8 1/4. Like I said, the reason I'm going above 8 is because I took the grip off this bow, which is right here. And that takes a good, probably 1/4 to close to 3/8. So that's why my measurement is over 8 inches. So now I got my own bowstring that I made. On this bow and my Sandalita. I'll be making me another one just like this one for my Black Hunter. Well, not this length, but this same black and silver D97. Now let me get my deal here. I'm going to serve this string. Let's see. When you're serving, you want to go with your twist in your string. And I also want to get where I'm going to start at, where my little marker at. I had a little marker. I got so much stuff growed out, I got too many different projects going. Let me find my marker. Where my knocking point's going to be. And then I'm going to go up. I like running about 2.5 inches above that because of how I put my little zip tie anchor point that hits my head. Now I got that part. I'm using just a gun. This is a gun deal here. It ain't made for bows, but it works. I'm gonna come down. I like coming down about 7.5 to 8 inches. Ain't no sense in serving way down here to me. But again, that gets back to every builder's preferences and how string builders, some does different from others. Now there's several different ways. Like I said, I'm using halo serving material. And this is the .19, if I ain't mistaken what it was. There's several different ways to do this part right here. And it always takes me a moment to remember how to get started. So, I'm going to be coming this way. You lay your string back over there. We're going to start and we're going to wrap with the twist of your string, and I'm going to put this on there for about, hand wrapping it like that, probably about 6 wraps, something like that. And then I'm going to grab this string, holding this loop on the end, and I'm going to pull it under like so. And I'm going to lay that back out the way. Actually, I'm going to put a couple more wraps on there, guys. That's what I said, it takes me a minute. This ain't something you do all the time. Then I'm going to pull it back over. I got about 8 wraps on mine. Pull it back the other way, and then you continue your serving. You got to get your server pointed in the right direction. Get the tension set just right on it. You don't want it too tight when you're twisting your serving on there, but you don't want it too loose. This ain't no expensive server, so it's harder to get. Now guys, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to twist this string till it gets to this 8-inch mark. So I'll probably hit fast forward for y'all, because y'all ain't going to want to sit here. This is a little slow for me. This is something I don't do as often enough to be worrying about one of them fast serving tools. Alright guys, we at the end. Now it's going to take me a minute to figure this out. We're going to pull out some string here, make a loop, and we're going to, let's see, if I do it this way, we need to back serve, but I got to figure out which way. No, that ain't back serving. I would come over, then back serve about 15 times. Something like that. Ain't got to be no exact number. Everybody's different. And then we're going to pull this string right back down here Now as I'm finished serving over the top of that string there that I pulled back, it should be unwrapping on this end. Like I said, every time I have to think about what I'm doing on this part. And you just keep serving it, trying to keep it as close and tight as you can right there. You need to tighten that jig down so it'll quit letting that string out. One more time and the back wrap will be out. Then we're going to pull all of that. Oh, don't get in a knot on me. About let it get in a knot there, guys. Then you just pull that back down. Cinch it down under there tight. Pull tight as you can. We're going to cut it, but we're going to leave it sticking up there about 1/4 inch. Even the one we started with on that end, I done give it a good hard tug. And then we're going to melt that. We're going to sieve this little electric. And as it melts down, you just mash it down. And that ought to keep it there. Now we got a brand new bowstring, brand new served. I'm going to put a temporary knock on here and we're going to go outside and shoot it. Now I don't put all my silencers or nothing else on them until I shoot them a while. Let them stretch in. So let me put a temporary knock real quick. Alright guys, we finna see how my second ever string turns out here. We're shooting at 20 yards. Like I said, it's going to stretch in, so I have to put a few more twists in it after shooting it a while. Yeah. It's loud to me without no string silencers on it. Pretty good group in there. That ain't but 15 yards. So there you have it, guys. There's my second custom string. I got one more bow, the Black Hunter, I want to build one for. Because the Oberon and my Blue Duck, it's got a custom string that I bought them 2 strings, and I paid as much for them 2 strings as I paid for all the materials that I can build probably 30 strings with. But if you're shooting bows, it's just a fun thing to do, building your own strings. Anything that you do yourself just means more to you. Actually, that turned out really good looking string, choosing that black and that silver. Kind of matches, well that's white, but kind of matches with. I tried to get some neutral color because I can't afford to be buying all them different colors. Some of that stuff's expensive. But there it is. Custom built bowstring number 2. I appreciate y'all. See y'all next time.